The Franchi SPAS 12 is a combat shotgun manufactured by Italian firearms company Franchi from 1979 to 2000. The SPAS 12 is a dual-mode shotgun, adjustable for semi-automatic or pump-action operation. The SPAS 12 was sold to military and police users worldwide on the civilian market and has been featured in many movies, TV shows, and video games. The appearance and intended purpose of the SPAS 12 initially led to its military designation as a combat shotgun. The SPAS 12 was designed from the ground up as a rugged military shotgun, and it was named the Special Purpose Automatic Shotgun. In 1990, Franchi renamed the shotgun the Sporting Purpose Automatic Shotgun, which allowed continued sales to the United States as a limited magazine capacity, fixed stock model until 1994. Following the United States federal assault weapons ban, imports of SPAS 12 shotguns to the United States were stopped. In September 2004 the ban expired, but Franchi had ended production of the SPAS 12 in 2000 to focus on the manufacturing of the SPAS 15 model. The SPAS 12's factory retail price in its final year was $1,500 USD, averaged for its final sales outside the United States to non-restricted countries. Design. The SPAS 12 was designed to function primarily as a semi-automatic firearm, with the pump-action mode used to reliably fire low-pressure ammunition such as tear gas rounds or less lethal bean bags. The firing mode is switched by depressing the button under the foregrip and also sliding the foregrip forwards or backwards until it clicks into position, allowing the rotating sleeve to open or close the two gas ports. The SPAS 12 has a magazine cut-off feature, which prevents loading a new round from the internal magazine when the gun is cycled. This lets the operator load a specialized round into the chamber without firing the whole magazine first. A unique feature of the SPAS 12 was the hook on folding stock variants. This hook could be rotated in 90-degree increments, so it would fit under the user's forearm when the stock was extended. In theory, with the stock supported under the forearm, the gun can be fired with one hand. An example would be letting the user fire from a vehicle through the passenger side window while driving. SPAS 12 models feature two safeties, a lever-style or push-button style safety, and 2. A quick employment safety. Lever safeties were recalled by Franchi and were replaced through the importer American Arms in the early 1990s. There are two types of push-button safeties. The earliest version would release the hammer on safe up to 1/4 inches of travel when the trigger was depressed. This would cause a lockup of the action that would require the user to relock the bolt assembly to the rear to reset the hammer and then reload the chamber. The later version installed a detent and machined hole in the trigger group frame to prevent an action lock. The detent would prevent the hammer from engaging when the trigger was depressed and would prevent an action lock from occurring. The quick employment safety, which is on the left side of the trigger guard, disconnects the trigger when put into safe mode. The quick employment safety can be disengaged with the trigger finger when ready to fire and is intended for competition or tactical use. A third safety type, a pistol grip safety similar to the later developed SPAS 15, is known to have been developed by Franchi for the SPAS 12, however the pistol grip safety was not offered for sale to the general public. A B-square rail mount for optics was available for a short time in the 1990s as an aftermarket accessory. The barrel of the SPAS 12 was externally threaded to accept a variety of attachments. The barrel is cylinder bored and spreads a normal shot charge to about 900 mm at 40 meters. There are 4 different magazine extension tubes manufactured for the SPAS 12. The 5 shell was designed for the 18 barrel. The 6 shell was designed for restriction on the standard 21.5 sporting purpose model. The 7 shell was designed for the 19 7/8 inches barrel. The 8 shell was designed for the 21.5 special purpose model. Many choke types, original and aftermarket, exist for the SPAS 12. A 44 mm grenade launcher used by France was used for explosive grenades capable of a range of 150 meters. A factory shot diverter that spreads shot vertically or horizontally was originally included with earlier model SPAS 12s. There are many known reproduction diverters. SPAS 12, SAS 12, and LA 12 model differences. 4 different stock styles exist. The first version of the SPAS 12 manufactured with the wooden detachable stock with the standard grip. Models were later available with the folding metal stock with hook. A rare aftermarket chote skeleton stock, approximate 150 to 180 chote stocks manufactured for the shotgun, with an AR-15 style grip was available for a short time in the early 1990s. After the United States imposed import restrictions on the SPAS 12 in 1989, a version was released in 1990 with the synthetic hollow fixed stock and a 6-shell capacity to comply with federal regulations for sporting purposes. 4 different factory barrels manufactured for the SPAS 12. Very rare, 18-inch, 46 cm, shorty made for law enforcement/military, originally distributed mainly in France. This is the only known model to receive the pistol grip safety. Very rare, 19-7/8 inches. Found scattered on a very few of the 1983 AL-proofed SPAS 12 shotguns. These were made for law enforcement/military originally. Common to the United Kingdom, 21-1/2 is a one-piece barrel converted to a 24 UK legal barrel. This barrel adds with a 2.5-inch, 6.4 cm, choke tube brazed or silver soldered in place. Most common, the standard 21-1/2 with sight blade muzzle ended on barrel for the special purpose model, or the pushed back sight blade with brazed extension for the sporting purpose model. The Franchi SPAS 12 came equipped with a non-adjustable circular aperture rear sight and a large, non-adjustable blade foresight integrated into the barrel. The LA 12 was a semi-automatic only and the SAS 12 was a pump action only. These 3 sister shotguns accepted all SPAS 12 components, notably trigger groups, barrel threaded attachments and stocks. The various magazine extension tubes of the LA 12 and SAS 12 were never designed to be interchangeable with the SPAS 12, as this would cause issues with the gas selector switch moving from auto to pump action on the SPAS 12 model. The extensions have been known to spin off the front of the SPAS 12 during cycling if the extension was not tapered for the SPAS 12 retaining pin. The SPAS 12 collector shotguns are wanted for certain style features. The front sight blade is muzzle-ended. The longer extension allowing 8 shells in the tubular magazine. The date code on the receiver is proofed 1989 or earlier with FIE, Firearms Import and Export, Corporation as importer. The barrel length is 21.5 or less, and the less barrel length by factory is more sought after. Attached stock is the wooden detachable with grip and or the metal folding stock with hook. The pump-only Franchi SAS 12 could accept 3 shells, but it did not have a bolt handle cut in the bolt body. The SPAS and LA could only accept 2, 3, 4 shells. The SAS 12 has a barrel length of 21.5, an overall length of 41.5, a weight of 7 pounds 4 ounces and a capacity of 8 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. The automatic-only Franchi LA 12 model was also restricted by importation in 1989 and banned in 1994 with the AWB. The LA 12 has a barrel length of 21.5, a weight of 7 pounds 4 ounces and a capacity of 8 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. The model was known to have imported with all stock styles used on the Franchi SPAS 12. The LA 12 models were more common with police sales as an alternative to the more expensive SPAS 12 for departments throughout the United States. The LA 12 model was notably lighter, 1.35 pounds, than the SPAS 12 and still maintained the same tube capacity of 8 plus 1 shells. Note: LA 12 gas pistons were designed as 2-piece. Unlike the 1-piece design of the SPAS 12, they are not interchangeable. The LA 12 was discontinued by Franchi shortly before the SPAS 12 discontinued in 2000. U.S. market. Importers. In the United States, there were 2 importers of SPAS 12 shotguns. Importation of the SPAS 12 into the United States began in 1982 and ended in 1989 under FIE Corp. In 1989, F.I.E. suffered from major losses of sales due to the President's importation ban, which was a reinterpretation of 18 U.S.C. 925, d. 3, that required firearms to have a sporting purpose in order to be imported. In 1990, American Arms Incorporated purchased all remaining inventories of parts and SPAS 12 shotguns from the now bankrupt F.I.E Corp. And began the re-importation of the Franchi SPAS 12 as the sporting purpose automatic shotgun, under newly approved restrictions until 1994. The ATF allowed importation of a SPAS 12 variant from American Arms because its size, weight, bulk, and modified configuration were such that it was particularly suitable for traditional shooting sports. The SPAS 12 was tested by the U.S. Coast Guard and showed promising results, but again was not considered cost-effective for a contract over other available suppliers. The assault weapons ban of September 1994 caused American Arms to stop the importation of the SPAS 12 with major losses of sales due to the legal restrictions invoked by the U.S. assault weapons ban. It is important to know that both importers placed numerous additional orders for the Franchi SPAS 12 shotguns that with both companies were never completely filled due to imposed laws by U.S. restriction throughout both importers' time periods. This was the reason for such few numbers of importation into the United States. Legal. A SPAS 12 shotgun is not an NFA registry item if it was imported/grandfathered into the United States between 1982 to 1994 bearing the import markings of F.I.E or American Arms. A SPAS 12 and Law 12 shotgun factory stamped by a year after 1994 is considered an illegal import violating federal importation laws with penalties for possession in the U.S. The SPAS 12 would not include importation markings on the side of the receiver before 1982 and after 1994 by the U.S. Importers Firearms Import and Export, F.I.E, or American Arms. The 1994 Federal Crime Bill, signed into law by President Clinton on September 13, 1994, included the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994. That act included provisions amending the Gun Control Act, GCA, 1968, to make it a federal crime for a private individual to possess or transfer, sell, give, etc., an assault weapon manufactured after that date. Assault weapons manufactured on or before that date are grandfathered, meaning that the law does not prohibit their possession or transfer. The law requires that assault weapons manufactured after September 13, 1994 be stamped with their date of manufacture or serial number to identify with factory date of manufacturing. SPAS 12 and Law 12 shotguns are listed illegal for possession in states that hold a military assault weapon style law that identifies the shotguns by name on each state's individual ban. The states may have had a registration timeline that would allow it to be grandfathered before each state's individual ban. U.S. states and territories listed that ban the Franchi SPAS 12 and Law 12 currently from future individual civilian possession. CA, CT, District of Columbia, MD, MA, New Jersey, New York. Users. Panama, used by Special Forces. Argentina, used by Special Operations. Australia, used by Police Forces. Austria, used by Eco Cobra. Bangladesh, Special Security Force. Bahrain, used by the Bahrain Special Forces. Cambodia. Croatia, used by Croatian Army. India, Special Forces. Iraq, ISOF. Italy, used by military and police. Indonesia, Komando Pasukan Katak, Kopaska, Tactical Group and Komando Pasukan Khusus, Kopassus, Special Forces Group. Ireland, used by the Army Ranger Wing. Lebanon, Lebanese Armed Forces. Malaysia, National Special Operations Force. Nepal, Nepal Mobile Police. Norway, used by military. Pakistan, used by police and military. Philippines, used by police. Thailand, used by Royal Thai Army. Turkey, Turkish Gendarmerie. United States, used by police SWAT teams. Type combat shotgun. Place of origin Italy. Service history. In service 1979 present. Used by C users. Production history. Designer Franchi. Designed 1979. Manufacturer Franchi. Produced 1979-2000. No built 37,000. Variants. Law 12. SAS 12. SPAS 15. Specifications. Weight. 4.4 kilograms, 9.68 pounds. Length. 1041 millimeters, 41 in, stock extended. 820 millimeters, 32.5 in, stock folded. Barrel length. 1819-7/821-1/224. Cartridge 12 gauge 234 inch shells only. Action pump action/gas actuated. Rate of fire semi-automatic or pump action. Effective firing range dependent on ammunition used. Feed system tube extension 5+1, 6+1, 7+1 and 8+1 rounds, internal tube magazine. Sights iron sight.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.